Welcome back to Autofocus, the weekly automobile show. As many of our regular viewers may know, we have reformatted our Q&A segment to make it more interesting and more informative. We're still accommodating questions from our viewers regarding the automobile or its industry, and include those that may come from the motoring media whose members we shall be inviting to guest, together with our resource person. Here's this week's pre-recorded Q&A. Welcome to our Q&A here on Autofocus. Our distinguished guest this week is the very young and dynamic president of Lexus Manila. And our topics for discussion range from the new Lexus satellite showroom, newly opened at the Magnolia Robinsons Mall, the Lexus CT200H, the newly launched vehicle from Lexus, and the commendable sales performance of Lexus in the country's luxury automobile segment. And here to apprise us on the latest developments of the Lexus brand in the country is who's popularly known as Sir John in the auto industry, and we hope to tell you why later on, Mr. Danny Isla. Danny, thank you for joining us here on the show.
Thank you, Butch.
And from the motoring beat, our guests this week include Inquirer motoring columnist and the consumer editor of Top Gear magazine, Mr. Bochi Santos. Bochi, welcome to Autofocus. And here on my left is another noted journalist, a widely read syndicated sports columnist, a one-time Palanca awardee, and motoring columnist of the Business Mirror and Top Gear magazine, three-time Palanca awardee. Three-time, I correct myself. He's also known by the moniker of Sir Paul, Mr. Al Mendoza. Sir Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Elvis.
Before I get this show started, I owe it to our viewers to first explain this Sir John and Sir Paul business. So let me ask the guy who started it all, Mr. Al Mendoza, who actually baptized Mr. Danny Isla here with the AKA of Sir John. How did it start, Sir Paul?
Well, basically, Mr. Danny Isla is a Beatle fanatic, just like me. His favorite among the Beatles is the chief Beatle himself, who happens to be John Lennon. One time when we were having a drink, Mr. Isla called me, "Hey, Sir Paul," referring to Sir Paul McCartney. Mr. Isla called me in Tokyo one morning while we were having breakfast. "Hey, Sir Paul." I was looking around if Paul McCartney was there, you know. But incidentally, Al Mendoza was there. So I shot back at Mr. Isla, "Hey, Sir John."
Okay.
Witness was Tito Hermoso. And that's it. That's how it started.
Okay, so that's the entertainment side of our program. So this evening, we go to the automotive side. If you don't mind, gentlemen, being the moderator, I ask the first question. First, Sir John, Danny, what made you decide to open up a satellite showroom at Robinsons Magnolia to begin with?
Well, Lexus has always been trying to reach out to most number of customers. You know? So we thought of putting up a satellite display wherein we are not really that much popular. And I think the choice about Robinsons Magnolia is just right because the theme of Robinsons Magnolia is kind of upscale. The shops there are upscale, so I think the brand of Lexus fit into that facility. Fortunately, the owners of the mall, the Gokaway families, were kind enough to accommodate us and gave us good concessions. And as a matter of fact, you witnessed when we inaugurated it, they were kind enough to attend even the simple ceremony that we had.
Tell us, for those of our viewers who haven't gone to that part of Metropolis, what is there, what can they expect to see in this Lexus satellite show?
It is actually a mimic of our showroom in Global City. We have a small hospitality area there where guests can sit down, relax, and have the same quality of coffee that you serve in our main showroom. And we also have some knickknacks, some displays of Lexus novelty items like shirts, golf accessories. Right now, we are displaying there the Lexus bike. And we can only display one unit in that facility because of the space. But so far, so good. Since we opened, people get to know what Lexus is. And we were quite surprised. There are people in that area, in the Quezon City area, who do not know where the office of Lexus is. So what we do there is we distribute maps, directional maps, going to the global city showroom.
Just one more question, follow-up. Do you have any plans of opening showrooms or dealerships any part of the Philippines?
As of now, there's no immediate plans for that. Even this boutique or gallery type of display in the mall, we will be evaluating it maybe after 2 years. If it's really worthwhile, we might try to find here in some other areas of the metropolis.
From, I don't know from where, but now, number 2 in the luxury car segment. You know, the luxury car segment shrank something like 5% last year for reasons we all know. But Lexus grew 15%. First of all, I think congratulations are in order.
Thank you very
Secondly, what's the secret?
Actually, there's no secret. We were not even aiming for any notch position in the luxury market. We at Lexus just continue to do things better each day. We try to see what is wrong and try to improve without looking at competition. It so happened that we have so many happy customers as a result of the efforts of the associates, and I'm glad to say that we have this many repeat customers. Not only repeat customers, they are multi-Lexus owners. Some of them have 3, some of them have 4. And these people, because of the ownership experience that they have, they refer customers to us. They give us their relatives, their colleagues, and we're happy about that kind of feedback from our clientele.
You just unveiled the new CT200H. Can you tell us a little something about that car? I drove it 3 times already. The first time around the block, wasn't so impressed, but when I had it longer, you know, it's really, I have to say, hybrids are the way of the future. So perhaps you can share some exciting facts about the new CT200H.
Yeah, when we inaugurated the Lexus Gallery in Robinson's Magnolia, we found it an opportune time to also introduce the minor change CT200H. We call it minor change because the only changes that you will notice is the fascia of the car. It has a different headlamps, it has LED headlamps, and even the daylight running lights and fog lamps are also LED. It is now carrying the signature spindle grille of the Lexus design. And we added some specs in the interior, like it has a GPS nav system. Very minor upliftment of the model.
So what is the main function of Lexus Gallery at Robinsons?
It's actually more of brand building than anything else.
Do you do any actual selling activities there? Or
No, we are not doing actual selling there. People can inquire. People can schedule a test drive at Global City. It's more of really branding, announcing the Lexus brand in that area of upscale mall.
For the benefit of those who may not have that enough information about Lexus, some still have the impression that Lexus is a very expensive brand. Although maybe this fantastic growth in sales may be eroding that kind of an impression. But for those who still do not know much, can you give us an idea of the price brand or band of Lexus? How much is the entry level and how much is your most expensive model?
Yeah, the entry level is actually the CT200H standard model at 2.4 million. The most expensive right now is the LS600 at almost 10 million pesos. The cheapest is a hybrid, and the most expensive is the hybrid model.
I think you're the only car company with that distinction as well.
That's right, yeah.
The cheapest and the most expensive models are hybrids.
Tell us, Sergeant, what does it take for a person who may have the means to afford a Lexus to be able to have one?
Well, actually, it's only a perception that Lexus is expensive. We have so many payment plans now. We tailor fit according to how the customer would like to pay it. We also have leasing program. This is skewed towards the professionals so that they can have good ITR declaration.
Speaking of the leasing program, if you don't mind, can you give us more details?
Our leasing program is the only leasing program in the luxury segment that doesn't require you to pay a deposit. We don't require you to pay a down payment, no down payment, no deposit, just 3-year term. You don't have to worry about the maintenance, the preventive maintenance for the next 3 years. You don't have to worry about insurance coverage. It's all packaged into your monthly rental.
And then at the end of the lease period, there is
At
the option
the end of the lease
to,
term, you can return the car and get a new one.
or the
Or
option to,
if you like the car, you buy it at the fair market value.
Fair
What's the
market val-
minimum?
market
What's the
value.
minimum? Minimum rental period. 3 months.
3 years.
3 years minimum.
Yeah. We only do 3 years. 3 years.
Does this leasing program apply to all models of Lexus?
Yeah. It applies to all.
Even to your most expensive brand?
Yes,
Ah,
yes. But
model.
we have not sold the top level model. Mostly this is mid-range and the entry level.
Are there any promos lined up by Lexus in the very near future?
Lexus is not really prone or accustomed to doing promos. If you will notice, since we started in 2009 up to now, our price is one price policy. We don't give discount, and we adhere to that religiously. And I think the customers appreciate it because even the resale value of their cars are protected, no? Are maintained.
Do you still accept servicing for buyers of Lexus?
gray market.
Yeah, gray market area.
Yes, we accept them, and we wholeheartedly accept them. As long as they pay the membership fee, they become a legitimate Lexus family, part of the Lexus family, and they're invited to our events.
Going back to these hybrid vehicles, Sir John, aside from it being environment friendly, the other attraction of a hybrid vehicle is that it saves gasoline or it saves on fuel. But then buyers of Lexus or other luxury models theoretically not really very much interested about the cost of their fuel because to begin with they're buying a very expensive car. So what do you think is the promise of hybrid luxury vehicles in the country?
For us in Lexus, we're not harping so much on the efficiency because luxury buyers probably don't mind paying more for the fuel. But what we have right now, especially for Lexus and Toyota, the hybrid now, it delivers more power, more powerful than the conventional engine. When the electric motor and the traditional engine combines, the horsepower is almost double. So even in Le Mans race, you see, they're using hybrid already. I think it's not only about fuel efficiency and environment. Well, that's already a given, but now it delivers even more power than the traditional motors engine.
Okay, so we can let our good friend here off, but not until he has a message for our viewers before we let you go.
Yeah, I'd like to invite the viewers to please visit Lexus Manila at Global City. And please drop by Robinson's Magnolia Mall. You will see our display there. Maybe today we'll be displaying another model. And you see the Lexus bicycle, Lexus novelty items. And you can have free coffee there. We serve good coffee.
And by the way, I know you're participating in the Summer Test Drive Festival happening at the MOA starting April 24. What models do you have in mind to let the public see up close and personal and probably even test drive it?
Well, maybe for that venue, we'll put the CT200H or the IS, either of the two.
Okay, thank you. And that's all she wrote for this week's Q&A. May I thank our guest journalist, Bochi Santos of the Inquirer and Top Gear magazine. And Sir Paul Mendoza, also of Top Gear and Business Mirror and other publications. And of course, our deep appreciation of the presence of Lexus Manila President, Mr. Danny Sir John Isla. Until the next time here on the Autofocus Q&A. Thank you.
Buhay!
Buhay.
That's this week's Q&A, reformatted and on its 4th edition. We'll have the highlights of a recent industry event coming just right up ahead. Stay watching. I'll be right back.